see what they had to put on the field here.
Definitely would be pretty exciting. It is down to the first game now, this best of 3 series. Candy almost looking to open up. The scoreline is going to be followed up by Geoids, and look at that early pressure coming in from Red Crown Esports to finally count the counter attack opportunity. Candy with the save. Still very much in the corner, a lot of back and forth. But Red Crown Esports seems like they have started off very strong. Look at that, another shot, and Candy in the end will be putting this one at the back of the net.
That is a wonderful little counterattack here. Look at the passing play. And, you know, even though that first blast in front of the net doesn't necessarily get through, it opens up an opportunity for Candy to slot it in. 1-0 here and a wonderful start.
Wonderful start indeed, and we see a very fast start coming in from Red Crown Esports, but 303 hits them back with the kickoff goal. And you know, you spend 20 seconds of your game just trying to set up passing plays, set up the most amazing plays, and then the team does that.
Yeah, there's not really a better momentum killer than a kickoff goal like that. It really kind of resets the expectations here, and Drewski doing well there just to be quicker to the ball, but immediately now we have pressure back on the other side. 303 Esports now trying to stabilize here, sending this all the way over to the blue side. A little bit awkward in the back line, but Candy able to see it at least to the corner for now.
We see extra legs going up high. Might be looking for the double here. Aegis with a really good touch. It's going to be followed up by Gio. It's down center. Aegis has an opportunity, but decides to take it slow. We see Lyrics over to Extra Legs. No opportunities so far on the offense for 303 Esports except for that kickoff goal. There might be something. Drewski coming in for the second touch, but it's not going to get any contact on it, and Candy might take us back into counterattack.
Yeah, we see Red Crown Esports looking for each other quite often. They're really trying to move laterally here, but you know, some of these passes are not as successful as we saw in their first drive here. They're going to keep probing, keep prodding to see if they can find each other. Possible pass here. They elect to reset their offense back to the corner. Candy, opportunity to get a touch on this one. We'll send it goalwards, but now deep clearance. Geoids has to be careful with this touch here. Actually loses it off the first one. 3 players needed to see that away. Extra Alex, middle of the field, but just a little too high for Drewski, and it's going to be Red Crown sending it back on the offensive side. Candy taken away from that double attempt, and really neither of these teams are afraid of immediately putting pressure on the other.
And they're both playing a very aggressive game, and that is what I like to see. I mean, that is one way to open up this tournament stream here. I definitely do love it, but I gotta ask, who do you think has better offense so far? I mean, I see Red Crown Esports making so many of these passing plays, and well, it finally worked out for them. But do you think is there a such thing as a lot of like too many passing plays?
You know, I can't say that there's necessarily too many passing plays. I think it depends on the intention of the passing plays. If all your passing plays are working out, you're finding space for each other, you know, I think you could do as many passing plays as you want here. But for Red Crown, you know, I think when they're finding space and they're taking advantage of it, you know, hopefully they're not getting into opportunities where they're passing up on opportunities because, you know, they're taking one too many touches. I don't think they've gotten to that spot just yet. But right now, Red Crown look, you know, very controlled, very tempered here in their offense. And right now, 303, I think, you know, the only real pressure that we saw is they have these quick stints on these counterattacks. But right now, I think Red Crown has the most control when they get into that offensive third. So 303 has to look a little bit more to disrupt here, and a shot is going to go right off the post, and they need a little bit more of that presence on the blue offensive third.
They definitely do, and I mean, I agree with what you're talking about. They haven't crossed the mark of too many passes yet. But it does seem like they've been playing such a well-coordinated game so far. The passing plays, everything seems right on point. But the counterattacks coming in from 303 Esports have been quite threatening as well. Now we see Gio is going up high, getting it past one, looking to dunk it past the second, and he's going to ram it through. 2-goal lead now for Red Crown.
Good. That is just, you know, what a solo play there, pushing it past that first defender. And Lyrics is fairly well positioned, but just unfortunately, the way that Geoids is kind of on top of that ball for the challenge doesn't leave a ton of options of where that ball is going to be placed. Geoid's wonderful challenge, wonderful goal, giving a little bit of insurance that Red Crown is sure going to appreciate here as we get into the final minute and 20 seconds here.
Final stretch, the business end of this particular game, and remember, it is a best-of-3 series, so not a lot of chances for making mistakes. We see Aegis with a really good clear here. Every single lob touch is now going to be chipping away ample time against 303 Esports, because a 2-goal deficit against a team like Red Crown does seem very difficult to manage.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's because they're, they seem so coordinated here. They're spreading out the field. That's why they're finding so much success finding each other in these passing plays, because they do spread the field so nicely. But right now, we have to look to Drewski. Drewski had that opening goal, had a few opportunities that just haven't hit the mark yet. Gonna need to see something here these next 30 seconds. Otherwise, it is gonna be the first game going to Red Crown.
And I just have to say, Aegis had 0 boost there on the sidewall. Still, he managed to make it work, getting so many touches on the ball and getting this clear. It just goes to show us how well these guys have been performing under a lot of pressure, even with little boost to their name. But with 14 seconds remaining, look at that opportunity for Candy. That would have been one crazy goal in the very first game.
Yeah, Candy was, at this point, they feel really confident with their lead and the time, not allowing for too much. And this is something you start to worry about here if you're 303, obviously giving up the first game. But, you're starting to see that Red Crown is getting really comfortable in their playstyle. They're really starting to put a ton of pressure, and they're really kind of going unchecked above that crossbar. We see Candy basically just already up, pre-jumping, hoping for that picture-perfect pass. It doesn't work out, but it kind of speaks to the confidence that Red Crown is going into this next match here. Now they're on match point here.
And this kind of shows us the kind of momentum they expect they're having in this tournament against 303. I mean, your momentum builds up only after analyzing your opponent's playstyle and speed. And as of right now, it feels like they are outpacing them in a lot of departments.
Yeah, and I don't think it's necessarily all doom and gloom here for 303. I do think that they have to be really particular with the moments that they choose to counterattack. We've seen a couple of those double commits on maybe opportunities that could have led to some extended possessions. And I think it's because they're really trying to push the tempo. They're really trying to take advantage of some of the space that Red Crown is giving them. They just have to be a little bit more clinical, especially in the midfield as they're taking possession.
It could be the way to go for 303 Esports as they head into game number 2 of this best-of-3 series. Now or never. Make or a break for 303 if they don't want to head into lower brackets. They got to start here with a kickoff goal. The momentum shift is necessary, and the very first goal will help in building up that confidence. We see extra legs going off the sidewall. Drewski might be looking to make a touch here. It still manages to break away, and there's the open net opportunity for Aegis, saved by Lyrics.
Yeah, I really want to see this 303 team kind of slow down their touches. I think they're starting to throw away a lot of their touches in the guise of trying to be faster to the ball. I don't think that's necessarily working because Red Crown seems to have their defense pretty well organized here. They have to be more decisive with their touches and, really try to opt for the challenges, keep the ball closer to them in order to give the teammate behind that second, third man a little bit better of an opportunity to read the play.
That is one option, but as of right now, if you're gonna make plays on offense, you first gotta get into that position. Red Crown Esports is not ready to leave the ball.
Yeah, it's a tough ask here for Extra Alex. A fairly decent challenge, but after that, an unfortunate bounce leads right to another Red Crown player, and all of a sudden they're kind of left alone, trailing back to that near post. And look at the control here from Aegis. Just so much confidence right now for Red Crown. They're really dominating the tempo of this game, and it's really up to 303 to kind of find some answers. Pass down to the midfield, unfortunately not able to connect, and really quickly multiple players up for this one, looking for the backboard read. Doesn't quite work out, but it feels like Red Crown, they're absolutely not concerned with getting punished on any of these plays.
And I have to talk about the recoveries are just what we're looking at right now. The recoveries coming in from Red Crown Esports have been absolutely mind-boggling. They don't care whatever they're going for. They know they're going to make it back right on time. They know they're faster than the opponent.
Extra Alex has a little bit of room here. Going to go for the chip. Multiple players there, and unfortunately loses that challenge in a bad way. It's up to Lyrics. We'll get one. Candy is already up for this one. We'll actually track that ball down. And that is an ego challenge if I've ever seen it. And Red Crown now battling from their corner. Aegis gets to the midfield. That looks to be a little bit dangerous on the back line, but Geoids doing well. And something Red Crown, I think, is doing really well. Most of the time when they're on ball, they're doing a great job of consistently beating that first challenge. It's really opening up a lot of opportunities for them. Because, you know, they're already beating one. Shot going through. AGS will see that one away barely. We're seeing a much more even game now as, you know, both teams putting in a little bit of pressure.
That they are, but I still just see Red Crown Esports having that kind of a presence and offense that I just don't see from 303 Esports.
No, I agree. I don't think we've seen the collective attack from 303 that we've seen from Red Crown, but I do think they're getting a little bit bolder with their challenges here. I think they're at least showing a little bit of fire in this game. However, they need that, you know, whether it's that passing play, whether it's, you know, a demo on the back line to really disrupt Red Crown. I don't think they've necessarily tried to be aggressive in that sense. Right now, we see a lot of Red Crown. They're able to defend the back line with at least 2 players. They haven't been caught out very much in 303. They haven't seen many clear looks. It's been a ton of half chances for them. Well, that's a great demo.
This might be one.
The shot comes through, but not quite. But that's exactly what we're talking about. That could have been the catalyst here for this offense, but just not meant to be.
Definitely wasn't. Now all they gotta do, Red Crown Esports, is hold down the line for 1 more minute if they want to secure that spot in the winners finals. We see Candy looking to pass it off the sidewall. Geo is looking for a low 50. He's going to be getting a Lyrics with a really great challenge. One more opportunity for Extra to send this down center. And like you said, right, we do not see the collective effort coming in on offense. It's just those contained touches coming in from Red Crown Esports are just something else. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it shows a team that really trust each other because they're willing to, you know, be positioned out. They're getting very consistent passes there. Candy already up in the air. You see that touch in a position, you know, in a radius where they're able to grab it. Last 20-something seconds here. And, you know, 303 doesn't have many chances. But can they catch Red Crown unaware? Or are they just going to grind out the clock here? Candy is on an absolute tear. Just basically like a moth to a flame on the ball continually, and they're going to try and get one more opportunity here, but Candy is not going to stop. Candy is inevitable here. All is up. Lyrics, it's a tough touch from the corner. AGS already there. That ball will hit the ground. Red Crown Esports will take this